Meghan splashed water in staff's faces. Meg paled with fear as staff giving evidences of her crimes. Meghan Markle's alleged screaming tirades debilitated her ex-staffers, a bombshell new book claims. There were a lot of broken people, an insider claimed to author Valentine Lowe, who wrote Courtiers, The Hidden Power Behind the Crown. Young women were broken by their behavior, the palace source added. In her tome, Lowe describes one alleged incident during which Markle, 41, lambasted and splashed water in young female face worker in front of other colleagues. Don't worry. If there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you, Markle purportedly told the staffer, with whom she had been working to execute a plan of sorts. The Archetypes podcast host is said to have verbally attacked staffers on numerous occasions. She allegedly became irate with one employee over a mishap involving press at a public engagement. She's not picking up. I feel terrified, the employee allegedly said after they were unable to reach Markle via phone. This is so ridiculous. I can't stop shaking. In Courtiers, Lowe claims that one staff member was completely destroyed by their experience working for Markle and her husband, Prince Harry. A former royal aide claimed that the couple, who wed in May 2018, repeatedly called them while out to dinner on a Friday night, only to berate the staffer. Every 10 minutes I had to go outside to be screamed at by her and Harry. It was, I can't believe you've done this. You've let me down. What were you thinking? They alleged. It went on for a couple of hours. The calls allegedly began again the next morning and ensued for days. The ex-employee elaborated, you could not escape them. Meanwhile, Private Secretary Samantha Cohen was allegedly screamed at by Markle and Harry, 38, before and during a flight to Australia for their 2018 tour of the South Pacific. Sam always made clear that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. They were impossible and pushed her to the limit. She was miserable, a friend of Cohen's claims in the book. She was constantly having to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf, while taking all this abuse from them. As depicted in another excerpt from Courtiers, Palace Press Chief Jason Knauf allegedly wrote an email in 2018 to Prince William's private secretary Simon Case about very serious problems with Markle's behaviour. The summer of 2018 junior employees at Kensington Palace were becoming wearily familiar with these dawn emails and texts from the newly married Duchess of Sussex. Palace officials were at first quick to offer reassurance. Part of Meghan's working day meant connecting with contacts in the US, they said, when she had to be at her desk because of the time difference, hence the early messages to staff. They also talked of cultural differences in management style. Americans, they suggested, were more direct. Meanwhile, friends of the former actress were gushing to People magazine that Meghan had always prided herself on being a good boss. On one occasion, they related, she had paid for an ice cream stand to come to provide free treats for the staff. But over time these explanations seemed increasingly threadbare. By October the glow of her and Prince Harry's May wedding had long since faded and insiders were openly describing Meghan as Duchess difficult. This had nothing to do with American-style straight-talking, but rather with what one figure suggested was her sharp, adversarial manner. Stories began to circulate of secretaries being reduced to tears and the word bully, fairly or unfairly, was being murmured about the Duchess's behaviour. Just months ago Buckingham Palace promised it would publish its report into how the historic allegations of bullying were handled by officials. But how hollow those pledges sound today. Instead of disclosing the steps taken to protect victims of the allegations, a curtain has been drawn over them. The report is buried, the changes to palace protocols unexplained. As the Mail reported yesterday, the suspicion is that the promise of transparency has been sacrificed in order to placate the couple at the heart of the sorry saga, Harry and Meghan. Working for the royals has never been for the faint-hearted. The hours are long, the pay poor and the requirements of the job have put many a domestic relationship under pressure. At the same time, one person's bully is another person's demanding boss.